gameplay videos. This one's going to be slightly different. This is actually going to be the tips and strategies that I have come up with and I use whenever I play. Hopefully these will work for you. Maybe you can use them in your own games to pick up your level of play a little bit. I just wanted to break down for starters, the weight classes that you can run with. For instance, you have the lightweights such as the Octane, the Gizmo, the Breakouts on the very end of it. You got the Venom, the X-Devil. They're on the lighter side of the power to weight ratio, so you're going to be much faster, but when you come head to head with, say, the Mercs and the Roadhogs, you're going to lose on weight if you go head to head with them, but you have the speed to make up for it. In your middle weights, you have the Hot Shots, your Paladins. The Ripper is actually considered a heavy. Your Takumi is a medium weight. Zippy, I believe, is a medium weight as well. Those are the ones that are very balanced. They're very easy to use for most starters, for most starting people. There's not too much to get used to. Most of the time, it just comes down to what you need to do. If you're an attacker and you just want to go after the ball, go ahead and get the Octane or the Gizmo, just something fast to get up the field. You don't have to worry about getting thrown around because you're going to get thrown around anyway from the defenders. If you're more of a defensive player, I might go with the Dominus or the Merc, Roadhog, Sweet Tooth, something to give you that weight to throw the other people around. But if you just want to sit there and you want to play midfield, you could just use the Backfire, you could use the Breakout, Hot Shot, something that's a nice medium weight, and you're there to play defense if you need, but you're light enough that you can mix it up front as well. That's really the only part of these that really makes a difference. If you want to make your car look a little different, if you want to set it up, the wheels any way you want, none of the wheels really make a difference from what I can tell over my days of playing these. Well, the topper does affect your hitbox on it, so your topper will hit before the top of the car, but at the same time, it's just more for style at this point. Your antenna's not really doing anything in general, it's just there to show off your personality. But yeah, this is just going to be the tips and strategies guide. I'm going to go through a couple ranked games with you and show you stuff that I have learned. So let's just go ahead and get into it. I'm always a lighter midfield. I'm an attacking midfielder whenever I play. You've seen me play tons with my two friends, so you can see that I'm always forward. I'm always throwing my car forward. I can play defense if I have to, but I try not to. And that's basically just my play style. I'm more of a attacking midfielder than I am a defensive mid or even a center back, if you were gonna stick this as close to soccer as possible. So we're going to see once we can get into a game. I do have a couple trick plays that I have up my sleeve. You've seen me use them when I'm playing 2v2s. My biggest go-to one is the backflip at the first touch ball. It throws off the rhythm, and if you can keep the rhythm on your tempo instead of your opponent's, that's the easiest way I can tell you that you're going to win. And we got a game here pretty quickly, so we'll get to show off some of the stuff. But yeah, that is just anything you can do to mix up the rhythm. Most of the time, if you're like going head to head with somebody and you're trying to chase the ball down towards your goal, hit them to throw them off balance. Just stuff like that. People do sometimes underestimate the power of the first touch. Look at that, that just gave us the first point of the game in 7 seconds, all because I got the first touch and was able to plant the ball down and he was able to set it up for his friend. So never underestimate the ability of that first touch. To get it, whatever I do is right before the ball, right on that center circle, I do a double jump, and that is what gives me the speed and height needed to, and he got actually that one, I missed that one. Like I said, I don't play much defense, so when it comes to this stuff, I'm more or less just attacking the ball as a defender. But, like I said, if you do a double jump right on that circle, you will almost every time hit that ball first, as long as you have the full boost while doing it. And that first touch, not only does it give you free points to level up your guy, or level up your player card, it also gives you just that extra momentum to, in fact, get up the field. And see, he threw off the rhythm. They actually ended up getting it, but that was a very good attempt at my teammate to throw off the rhythm by taking the ball off the wall instead of letting it come down. So even though he did center it for them, he did in fact throw off the rhythm. It just so happens that somebody was there for him. So I'm going to play on defense a little bit. Those two are going to go for it. It's going there. I always run over here and get a quick boost. And see, just like that, even if you can just get to the ball just a split second sooner. And that was my attempt at a decent shot on goal. And oh, there we go. We got another goal. So now we're back at even. And it's only 1 minute into this game, and we're already neck and neck. So there, pretty much, he was throwing off their rhythm by rolling the ball over their goal. So going forward here, I'm going to show you the backflip, because this is my favorite shot to do. And it's just enough where your person in the back will always be able to run up and get it, because he will most likely be going faster than you will. And see how I made him miss? That was just a simple light touch. Let's see if I can run up the ball. Ooh, see, that one got one person to miss. Let's see if... Oh, there he goes. He's, whoopsie! Ah, that was... Every now and then, if you want to blame it on lag or just a miscue from your jumping, I thought I was going to be able to hit that perfectly, but then it just rolled just to the side. But it happens to the best of us. I'm not saying I'm perfect. These are just my tips of the trade, if you will, to my pseudo success at Rocket League. And that's a goal. Nope. Oh, he saved it. That was a very late save. And also, don't forget it's kind of looked down upon if you play 1v1, but the demolitions can be your friend if you can time them properly. If your buddy's having trouble getting back to the goal, don't be afraid to demo somebody, and therefore it turns your 3v3 into a 3v2 for just a split second, which can give you that little bit of pause and advantage that you need to take, not necessarily take the lead, but enough to regroup, get back on your own, get back in formation, and just enough to get back in the game and try to save your skin, try to save some face. Ooh, that was a close one. Is he gonna be able to chip it up? Oh, let's see if we can. And don't underestimate as well the ability to just keep batting the ball around in the corner of next to a goal, because it still throws them off having to keep waiting. Oh, look at that. See, that was just timing. I just happened to come down the wall at the right time. So he did a very good save there. His teammate probably should have picked it up. They both tried, but I guess it went right over them. When it does come to defense, it's very selective on how you play. There's a balance between doing a double jump and doing a aerial jump. Each of them have their perks and disadvantages alike. Like these double jumps. Oop, he ended up going too high. See how all three of us just overcommitted? That is one thing you never want to do if you do any kind of ranked game, is you never do you want all three of you going towards the ball at the same time. You always want waves. Waves are the easiest way, one of the easiest formations to succeed in this game, is to have basically one forward, one midfielder, one defender if you're doing 3v3s. And it just allows you for the first person, if he happens to miss, you got that person behind him that's there to pick up the slack. And if worse comes to worse and and the front two miss, you still have that third person playing defense for the ball to come back. So waves are always the best system to work. Worst comes to worst, you can always play very, what would be kind of considered, I suppose, patient-y, if you will. It's where you pretty much, you never aggress. Ooh, that was a very good shot. You never aggress towards the ball, you're always waiting, and you let the person pull to you, which gives you the advantage of having them on your terms instead of you having to go to their terms. So as you play this, if you're a newcomer to this game, or you play it for fun and you want to get a little more competitive, you always just have to find that strategy that happens to work for you. So it all just comes down to what your style is. There are also several different strategies for 1v1s, and I think I can actually should be able to play a 1v1 after this to show you guys some more strategies in that. That is on goal. Ah, it's just over. But every game mode is going to have slightly different modifications to each strategy, if you will. A 3v3 strategy will generally not work in a 1v1, if you will. So let's go ahead and see if we can get in a 1v1, and I'll see if I can give you my interpretation on what's happening. Generally, 1v1s are very patient. They're not very high scoring, like, unless it's a really good game and neither of you have very defensive set of skills, you're not going to have a 5-3. Generally, most of the games I've played are 2-2, 2-0, unless the person just stops trying, and then you have 7-0, 7-0 kind of thing. So I would just say we'll go through and see what scenarios I get myself into, and we'll see if I can get out of them, and some tips to help you get out if you can. So you always want to go for the ball in 1v1 unless you're really good at defending that first shot. I know that my defensive skills are lacking, so I always do my best to go for the ball as early as I can. And right now he's trying to play the patient game. He's being very methodical, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think I chipped that one to the side. And unfortunately I missed that shot, so he has the advantage now, but as we go into it, he's gonna pull it off, and ooh, that was actually really close. Let's see if I can catch it. Yeah, there we go. Just like that, just gotta get that touch. This guy's actually being a very good scorer for a 1v1. I'm not used to it. But like I said, these are pretty much just a game of 1v1s are more of a game of chess than anything. You're just seeing if you can outwit your opponent. You have to be defensive and then have flip aggressiveness at all times. And he got me to pull. Unfortunately, I used all my jumps. There we go. I think I chipped it too far to the side. I did. See, that was very unsportsmanlike of him. If you ask anyone who does 1v1s, for the most part, you almost never demo in a 1v1. It's just not very sportsmanlike. Because it shows that you cannot beat the person. Straight up. He threw me around, so I couldn't even control my car that whole time. But it's all good. Like I said, these are very low-scoring games. You always want to do your best to have them in your field. Instead of having them, that's actually going to be a shot on goal. Yep. There you go. Every now and then you get very lucky on the breaks like that. but those are mainly luck. I don't think there's any real strategy to those kind of shots. Let's see what we can do here. And you pretty much have to take each ball drop as a new play, if you will, if you want to attribute this to some kind of sport like American football. Each ball drop is a whole different play that you have to account for. You have to adjust your defense, adjust your offense. He tried boost starving me there, so I went ahead and just used what boost I had to get ahead of him, because he took a wider turn there and I was able to beat him to it and actually end up getting the goal. So right now I'm going to try my backflip strategy, and as you can see, it worked out yet again. It's just one of those things where it's really weird, no one expects it, and the thing is, when you do the backflip, you're always going to be facing the goal, or the ball rather, so you don't have to worry about finding the ball, flipping around, trying to look for it again. Unfortunately, it generally only works once. So, and any chance you can get your opponent to stop the ball from curling around the whole corner of the wall, it will be in your best interest. He got me to pull a little bit there, and he overshot as well, so he was way off from the goal and unable to protect it. So I don't know where he thought he was going with that. It was a very poorly defensively set up strategy for him. But we'll go ahead, see if we can just finish this game out a little bit. Yeah, he was trying to demo me there. That one gonna go over. It is. Yep, right over him, just like that. Anytime you can stutter the rhythm, if you can just throw off his rhythm just ever so slightly, that little pause I did was enough to have him stop and regroup where he was, and then by the time he came to it, he was out of placement, he was out of his formation. And I know I use formation weird because it's only 1v1, but at the same time, you're always going to have formations, you're always going to have strategies no matter what sport you play. So, oh, that's actually going to get on goal. Yeah, he got it. That was one of those I'd have to come around a weird angle to try and get to it, so I'm not too upset for losing those. Worst comes to worst, it's still 6-2 with a minute to go. See, people underestimate the power of just doing a kickflip right at the beginning. Alright, we'll see if we can, just like that. Don't be afraid to use the top of the goal, the sides of the goal, and you get to the point where they just want to give up. Just like that, anytime you can use the sides of the goal to do a backboard shot, because it'll throw off the rhythm, it's your anything you can do to get yourself in there in the advantage is the best thing you can do. But then again, guys, like, I'm not trying to say I'm the best player at this. I'm just saying these are strategies that I have noticed. Thank you for watching this. If you've stayed with me the whole time, let me know if you guys want me to do another video like this. I can do more videos and find more strategies through some of my footage. Just let me know what you guys think. Please hit that like, comment, and subscribe button for me, and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good night, guys.